Today's incredible business owner, founder, guest is Ulf Stenerhag. Ulf, can you please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you?
First of all, you pronunciate the name perfectly, so I guess you're somehow in DNA Swedish. No, it's a quite difficult. It's a quite difficult name. No, my name is, as you mentioned, Ulf Stenerhag. I have an engineering background, done a lot of work within the life science sector for many years. Started up my recent company Wayout in 2018, and dedicate basically the whole of my life into the water sector since then.
Awesome. So why water?
I mean, the good question is why not, or the counter question is why not. No, it's a long story. It's a long story. It started actually with some initiatives I made in the past from the beverage side. I mean, my former company did a lot of process technology stuff for pharma, sometimes even beverage industry. And when I started up Way Out, I wanted to create something that is in the DNA good, which means that the more we do it, the better it is. So we considered to start up something where you avoid completely the packaging and the transports and everything. So like having a watermelon, putting a straw and produce where you consume. And we started off actually making what we call a microfactory, so a distributed technology that was able to do water, soft drink, and beer. And by the end of the day, we realized that maybe the world doesn't need more beer, but the world needs more water. So we decided to focus on the water side from that part. So it's not by coincidence, really. It happens to be focused on water, maybe in some kind of coincidence, and mainly pushed by one of our co-founders. But we ended up realizing that the water market is more needed, and obviously it's a larger market, and by the end of the day, we can do more impact there.
Mm-hmm. Got it. So where did this kind of no plastic, no waste, minimal distance between you and the water idea come from?
I mean, it comes from several perspectives, I guess. We are a couple of co-founders with their separate, let's say, findings and experience brought into this space. From myself, I wanted to do something that is I've been doing pharmaceutical plants or big manufacturing plants, centralized, in many years. So I kind of know the advantages of doing that, but I also know the disadvantage of doing that. And finding the kind of trend and the capability of the technology in the last years that were possible to do more distributed systems, whether it's a connectivity system going from one radio mast to several 5G masts, whether it's going from one nuclear power plants to several solar panels or solar. So there is a lot of move into the distributed technologies. So I was kind of ending up my career and wanted to, let's say, use all the findings I have found, which is what's good and what was bad, and all the buzzwords that was around, and make it local, make it transparent, make it fair, make it empowering for the local people. So we wanted to bring all these kind of buzzwords together in one concept and do it for real. So, I mean, we were privileged enough to have the time and the resources to do that. But I would say basically it comes from a lot of experience in the past of doing things efficient, but maybe a little bit wrong.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Big fan of efficiency myself. So who is the customer for it, and what is this called? Like the company's called Way Out, or the
Yeah.
docs, or what are those called?
So the company is called Way Out, and it comes from the idea of bringing some kind of way out of the current matrix.
Wow.
And and enabling technology to be delivered anywhere, far away, way out. And also sometimes in America, you say to people that are a little bit crazy that they're way out. So maybe that's a part of the story too. So our clients is, let's say it's divided in 3 sectors. It's the same concept, it's the same stuff, but one of the main client segment is the current polluter of, let's say, environment, which is the plastic bottled water producers. So we can provide them with a transition into something more sustainable, more future-proof, but also more profitable, because we get rid of the largest portion of their cost, which is transport and plastic. So this is a platform, kind of a future-proof platform that enables the bottling companies to generate more profit, better quality, less environmental harm, and more client experience because it's all digital. So that's one sector. And it's a win-win for everyone there. The other sector is the hospitality industry and the, let's say, the event space or the retails. And you can imagine there is a big hotel chain or a group of hotels in a very, let's say, dense area. We can provide them with their specific needs in terms of drinking water, whether they co-brand it themselves, whether it's Marriott or SH hotels or anything. So that's a big sector that has a great need of a sustainability profile. So we can offer them to lower their cost, improve their sustainability profile, and avoiding the plastic completely. And then thirdly, we have the crisis areas, whether that's Gaza or Ukraine or some other areas which has difficulties of access to water. We can provide them with a plug-and-play system that can build up an infrastructure, kind of a future-proof infrastructure, in a very short period of time to a lower cost than the current production of bottled water locally. So these 3 sectors are mainly the client base.
Got it. So how does the system actually work to filter the water? Because if it works in crisis areas, that has to be quite a filtration system.
Yeah, I mean, well, we are dividing the system in 3 parts. One is the microfactory. We call it a 20-foot size container, which treat the water and mineralize the water and filling the vessels. Then we have the vessels themselves, which is a non-plastic, and then we have the dispenser technology. So if we go to the first part, which is the microfactory side, where the treatment takes place, we are using known technology, but we're using it in a very efficient way. We believe we're doing it better than others, but you have thousands of companies doing the same. So we have everything from very, let's say, harsh mechanical filters like sand filters, moving down to take away smaller and smaller particles. And in the end, we have a 4 RO system, which is a reverse osmosis package. And we combine that even with ozonated water and controlling the let's say, if there is a case of bacteria or whatever, with UV lamp. So basically, just short, we have all known technology built into that with a very high redundancy to make sure that we can take any kind of water source.
Okay. So, I mean, does it need like water pipes or like a stream or the ocean, or like what, how does it connect to, or how does it get its source water?
So if there is a water source, whether it's a sea, river, industrial waste, or any kind of, let's say, already existing water on the ground, we need a pipe and a pressure. So we need a couple of bars into the unit that could be generated by a simple pump, and it could be a hose from the source into the microfactory. So we need basically a flow and we need a pressure. That's it. And that could be taken from anywhere. Let's say that we have a situation where we don't want to take the sourced water from the ground, but we want to generate it from the air. We can also use an AWG, as it calls, air water generation unit. So we can condensate water from the air as our source water, and then we are mineralizing it, filtering it, and we are packaging it. So basically, it's a very much plug-and-play unit, but you might need to put a pump or a hose in the end.
Wow. Okay. So you guys thought of everything.
I'm not sure, but we thought about a lot.
Awesome. Awesome. So how are you getting these out into the world? How are you finding customers? How are you getting people to use Wayout?
And that's probably been the hardest challenge for us because it's a complete system, which is like a new concept to the world. It's a different way of doing it. It's not a excuse me for coughing. It's not a disruptive way, but it's a replacement. And it's obviously, if you have a big balance sheet with old technology, it takes some time. So we have seen that it's been a little bit a challenge to move in with this kind of new technology. So the sales is done mainly by our own networks. We have a showroom in Dubai where we can showcase the full system, where we're also selling the water to the clients to showcase the whole ecosystem. But generally, it's our own ecosystem and our own work. But we have also seen in the past years that it's a bit challenging for people to start using the system because it's quite high capex intensive, and it's obviously something they want to try first. So we have now initiated 2 pilot systems that we can ship around the world for clients to try out, to minimize the threshold for testing and improving the ecosystem, and then you place the order for new systems. So as it is a new way of doing things, we're kind of minimizing the thresholds by having pilot systems or test system. You could say it's not really pilot because we know it works, but it's a test on the ground with a local context.
Mm-hmm. Got it. So for the pilot systems, are they just installed in kind of a local community and the community is using the water? What does the pilot look like, I guess?
So the pilot could be either of these 3 segments. So
Yeah.
it could be one of the big water brands, whether it's Coca-Cola or Danone or Nestle or anyone that wants to try out our system in a context, in their local context. So that's one. They already have the logistics, they have the onboarding of clients, they can just test it out. Simple as that. We are not charging for the capex. We are providing the pilot systems. Secondly, the same goes for the retail or for the hospitality industry. But when it comes to the crisis area, it's obviously more critical because then you basically need the water directly. So we have arrangement there where we can finance new systems, or we can utilize the pilot case or the test unit as well there as well. So most quick to market for us would be the already existing water brands because they already have the infrastructure. Most impactful is obviously the crisis area.
Yes. And how does it fit in with the bottle makers? Like how do Nestle and Danone incorporate it into their current systems?
So most of these companies have something called the 5-gallon, which is the large volume, let's say bulk water. And if you have that in your portfolio, we have a complete replacement, which means that we can produce closer to the clients. We can do it without single-use plastic. We can improve the quality of the water because it's not leaching microplastics on formaldehyde and stuff. We can do it more profitable because we avoid the packaging and the transport, and we can do it digital. So it's a pure replacement, and we are not the brand. We are an ingredient brand like Intel or Shimano, and it could be like Danone powered by Wayout or something like that. It's not disruptive. It's just a replacement. It's improved their profit. It's improved their sustainability profile. It's improved their quality and client experience. Obviously, they are doing it different today, so there is a transition. If you have a full balance sheet with all obsolete technology, you will not change over a day. It will take some time, and we are prepared for that. So that's a clear just replacement. If we want to go into the bottling, let's say to compare it with bottles, let's take the hospitality industry. If you move to a hotel somewhere in the world, you open the room and you got 5 or 8 bottles of plastic in the room. Instead of having that, we can have our dispenser technology, which means that we were wasting less, because at least when I use the bottled water, I brush my teeth and whatever, and there's 50% left and somebody's tossing it out. If you have a dispenser, you use what you consume. And the cost for that water is by far lower, and there is no plastic waste, and it's digital controlled. The logistic is far better, etc., etc., etc. So that's an easy way forward. When you have a situation where you have no water at all, the access to water area, whether that's again Ukraine or Gaza or anywhere in the world, it's slightly more challenging because you need to build up an infrastructure that is not there currently. So it's a bit more challenging, but we have all the components for that infrastructure.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Well, this is really, really cool. Really, really future forward. I love it. What is your growth plan from here?
We have quite high ambitions without sounding arrogant. We want to be a paradigm shifts on how you produce drinking water locally instead of centralized, which means that we always sometimes playing with the words like becoming the Tesla for water, just giving you an image of what it's all about. So we have quite aggressive growth plans. First of all, we need to succeed with the first entry to market. Of course, we are working carefully with that. But we see that, the market for these 5-gallon large HOD, which is home office delivery containers, is approximately $20 billion. That's where we have a clear replacement. We can just replace it. We do it better. We do it smarter. We do it with lower cost, better quality, and so on. Then if we target the bottled water market, which is basically a $400 billion market, we have alternative to that as well. We are also having small reusable stainless steel flasks. And so we can target that market as well. It's a bit of a forward leaning. We need to develop more, let's say, subscription models and stuff. And then we have the access to water market, which is sorry for my coughing, but it's 1/3 of humanity that lacks safe drinking water. That's another $400 billion market. So we have high ambitions of getting rid of all the plastic, single-use plastic. We have high ambition of improving the quality. We have high ambition of growing the company. So we'll see if we are the right team and the right technology, but we are moving fast to see if it works out.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, we are coming towards the end of our time. I have one final question for you. It is an open-ended question. You can take it in any direction that you want, big and small, short, long. It's up to you. It is the name of the show. The question is, what are you working towards?
Oh, that's easy and difficult. To be honest, when you're whether you're a serial entrepreneur or an entrepreneur or having that spirit, it's just in your character to do things. And sometimes people are asking myself and maybe others that, where do you get your inspiration from? And I'm just not inspirational driven. It's more like when you're entering to your home and you open the door and there is full of stuff in front of you, you clean it up. You're just doing it because it's in your character. So that's one thing. We just keep on doing it because there is a need for it, and the world is in a mess. So let's clean it up. So that's one answer to that. It's just deeply rooted in a type of character. The second point is more ambitious, more like an whether it's capitalistic or entrepreneurial ambition is to change the way we're producing water globally. It's not like having one or two or three systems sold somewhere. It's to have a paradigm shift. I mean, water exists in most places locally. Let's bring the production locally. Let's bring the earnings, the green jobs, the taxation, the profit locally. Let's not extract water in somewhere in the world, whether it's Fiji or Voss, and send it to Dubai and get the crap stays where you consume and get the profit back to the way where you actually produce. So distributing the way of producing, distributing wealth, distributing opportunities, and doing it right this time. So that's the second part of the ambition.
Yeah, that's awesome, Wolf. Well, I really admire what you all are doing, and I, obviously want you to succeed because you seem like a great guy. But this would make a tremendous difference in every human's life on this planet. Less plastic, less waste, more profit, healthier. That I can't think of anything, more impactful than that almost. So I'll definitely be cheering you guys on from afar. Where
Thank you.
Ulf,
We
where
need all our support. We need all our supporters and cheerleaders globally because, I mean, all these entrepreneurial journeys are difficult ones, and we need every kind of support and cheerleading that is out there.
Awesome. Where can my audience find out more about you and Wayout?
www.wayout.com.
Yeah. So that's a killer URL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It took us a while to get it, but now we have it.
Yeah. It was worth it, man. That's, you won't forget a URL like that. So awesome. All right, Ulf. Well, thank you so much for taking the time, man. It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you for having us, and thank you for just notice that we are around, and thank you for your kind support.
My pleasure. Thank you for seeing a mess and trying to clean it up.
Yeah, we're just doing our best.
Yeah.
Thank
Awesome.
you. Bye-bye now.
Hold on, Ulf.
Okay.
Yeah, to our listeners out there, thank you so much for tuning in. Keep on growing out there, everybody. See ya.